There are thousands of careers in California, but how are we supposed to know which is the right career for us? If we're to spend 40 to 50 hours a week, over 10,000 hours a year, we're going to want to choose a career that we're best at and one that we love. And with the average American changing their jobs up to 7 times during their lifetime, finding the right career as soon as possible will contribute to better health and help you live a richer and fuller life. The right career is out there waiting for you, and I'm going to help you find it. I'm Freddie Cochran. Welcome to California Careers. Welcome to another edition of California Careers. I'm Freddie Cochran, your host. Ever thought about a career in real estate? Well, here we're in Redondo Beach, California, outside RE/MAX Estate Properties. We're going to go inside and meet with one of the realtors and see how one becomes a real estate agent. Let's go see how it's done. Today we're in Redondo Beach, California with Risa Myers. Good morning, Risa.
Good morning.
Risa is a realtor here at RE/MAX Estate Properties. And exactly what is a realtor, Risa?
Well, basically, a realtor is someone you would hire to either purchase a property, meaning your residence or perhaps an income property, or you would hire a realtor if you were looking to sell your properties. So,
is there a difference between a real estate salesperson and a realtor, or is that the same
there
thing?
is. It's a next level up. It does require a certification. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are selling properties representing buyer or seller.
Correct.
And you also provide services for those who are looking to maybe sell a vacation timeshare or purchase a timeshare?
No, not
necessarily?
exactly.
Okay.
We don't really want to go in that direction. I mean, we can help you with any of your needs. If you're looking and you need to lease a home, let's say, or if you're looking for a vacation rental, you know, a property on the Strand for a few weeks in the summer.
Okay.
Just recently, I was certified as a global realtor, and because RE/MAX is in 96 countries,
wow,
I can now represent you in 96 countries.
Wow.
Isn't that fantastic?
That is very cool. Do you actually work outside of California? Or?
In Paris or London,
wow,
or anywhere, yeah.
That is very cool. Tell me, who are the players under this roof here? Now, the realtor works for the broker.
Correct.
Is that right? So
that's correct.
What is that relationship like? What's going on there?
Okay, so what happens here is that you want to have a broker. Of course, you can be your own broker, but you have to make sure that you have liability insurance. It's very high. And so basically what it is it's RE/MAX is your broker, and in here, my broker is Gary Steger.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we do as realtors is that we hang our license here. Okay. So it's under the name of RE/MAX. So I am actually, Myers and Associates is my business, but I hang my license at RE/MAX.
So we have the broker, the realtor, and then the administrative people that work under this roof.
That's correct. However, we have our own administrative people. You're basically self-employed.
Oh.
I have my own group.
You type up your own letters.
Everything is completely, yes.
Your own copies.
Everything. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us your education to get started in this career. How does that work? What is your education?
Well, basically to become a realtor, you just need, there are several classes, real estate classes that are required, and then you have to take an exam, and obviously pass that exam. And then there are always ongoing education, and especially RE/MAX only hires experienced agents.
Okay.
And that you have to continue your education, and then every 4 years you have to take the exam again, or a new exam.
Okay, so an 18-year-old, you don't even need a high school diploma, or do you need any prerequisites before you actually get into the real estate courses?
I do not believe so.
Okay, so you take, is it real estate principles?
There's several.
Okay,
many.
Several classes.
6 or 8 classes that you have to take. You have to spend so many hours in a classroom, and then again you have to pass that test.
Okay, let's talk about that exam for a minute. The exam, is that given, is it a multi-choice type of exam, or is it fill in the blank, or is it oral? Tell us about the exam.
It's not oral. It is a combination of fill in the blank and and a choices. However, it is a very difficult exam. There's a lot of math questions. You have to be able to pass that. So it's not an easy test.
So you got to know math pretty well. And
yeah, you're a realtor. You better. Talking with some big numbers.
Okay. So tell us, once you pass the exam and you want to get started in this business, you said you don't hire anyone unless they have experience. How am I going to get experience?
Sure. Then you're going to go to one of those other companies.
Okay. Well, the little guys.
I could mention some names. And that's actually where I started.
Okay.
Is with another company that would hire a new, what we say, a newbie, right out of school, because the only way you are going to learn real estate is in the trenches.
Okay.
Just have to tell you, it's not what you learned in that classroom. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something else, and this is just the bottom line. No two transactions are the same. None.
Meaning?
You are going to learn every single transaction is different. Different issues are going to come up. There's different players. Never, ever will be bored, ever. You will continually learn and grow as long as you're a realtor.
And you're meeting new people all the time, and there might be different issues with
There are different issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you walk us through a typical day as a realtor here? What are you guys doing all day here?
Right. Okay, there is no such thing as a typical day.
Okay.
Okay. Again, like no two transactions are the same, no 2 days are the same. It's not like you have a 9 to 5 schedule. For some, not as crazy as I am, but unfortunately, I worked 7 days a week, at least 12 hours a day.
You guys are busy on weekends, right?
Oh,
People are looking for
Sure.
homes on the weekends a lot.
That's when your clients are available to look at homes or to have their home scheduled for an open house. So you want to have that. But again, you know, I start my day when I get up and I go right to the computer and I start to work and I look at my emails. I get approximately 100 to 120 emails a day.
Who are these emails from?
These emails are going to be from either my clients following up, the escrow officers, a title rep, a termite inspector, an inquiry, just so many. I mean, there's about 20 people involved in every transaction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Briefly take us through a transaction from I want to list my house with you to showing the people the home to possibly the escrow service to the title clearance and all the way to the closing. Can you take us through a typical?
Okay.
Typical
Sure.
action?
Okay, I'll take you through the one I just closed escrow on 2 days ago.
Okay.
And that was a really nice single-family house in the city of Redondo Beach. And it was a beautiful home, 3-story, was $825,000.
Wow.
And really nice, real highly desirable corner house. And so basically what I do is, well, the one thing I do is I start marketing the property almost immediately before I ever put it on the multiple listing service.
Emails, mailers.
Yeah, well, I network with all the local agents, which kind of makes me a little bit special because I'll know about properties where other people won't know that they exist yet. But basically, I'll meet with the client and I will do a presentation.
Okay.
Okay. So now, in this particular case, there were she was interviewing other realtors. And so I came in with my package, and I have a really nice, I could have brought it, a leather-bound book, and that I supply them with. And in that book, it walks them through step by step what we do to help them understand the process and answer a lot of their questions. So basically, once the seller signs a contract with you, then you start your real marketing process, right? Taking photographs of the home, scheduling open houses. One of the things we do is we have a broker's open. That's where we purchase lunch and invite all the local agents to come and have lunch there, so that they will come in and preview the home for their clients.
Okay.
Now,
for buyers.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, prior to all that, let me just back up for a second, because the things that I do are like, this house had a lot of termite damage. It needed repairs. The landscaping was not, maintained. And so,
how did you find out about the termite deal? Was there someone hired, or did you already know about?
I can just visually see that there's termite damage. Wow. Yeah. So what I do is I get a termite company out there to take care of all that, and then I also hired the painters to come, and they painted the exterior, and then I had a landscaper come, and we cleaned up all the landscape and planted all new flowers. So there's a lot that goes into the preparation of a house before it ever goes on the market.
What if I don't have the money for that?
Well, in this particular case, I took care of that for my seller.
Oh, wow. Okay, because you just knew it was such a hot property that it would go.
That's the kind of agent I am. I'm a full-service agent. Not all agents would do that or are able to do that, but in this case, I did take care of all that for my client.
That's very cool. So after you put the house on the market, what happens next?
So then basically after we have the brokers open, then that following weekend usually we'll have an open house. Now in that, what you want to do is a lot of advertising. And in today's world, it's got to be internet. The other thing we do is we take a video of the house.
Wow.
So I walk through the house with a director and a camera, and we talk about the house, and we show all the benefits of it, and that's really what you want to put out there. I have a YouTube channel where I create all my videos, and that you just kind of go out into the world and you let them know, no matter where they're at, they can be in England and they can see this home. They could actually purchase this home. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say the house is out there, it's on the internet, probably on your website too? Or?
Correct.
Okay.
All over. It's on 20 different sites.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody comes through and they're interested and we want to see the house, and take us from there.
Okay, great. So they would probably schedule an appointment, and we have a sign. Oh, you see those big signs out there, for sale.
Are you out there just pounding that sucker?
Actually, I do have someone to do that. Although I've been known to get out there in my suit and tie. So basically, they would schedule an appointment either with myself or their agent, okay? And we have a thing called a lockbox, and that allows an agent to come use a specific code and get the keys and enter the home. And so at that point, the client, the buyer, potential buyer comes in, and if in fact they like the house, they either write the offer with myself or with their agent.
And generally an offer to buy a house is negotiable, isn't that right?
Everything is negotiable. Everything is negotiable in real estate.
Okay. So let's say we want the house, we're going to offer you the same price that you're asking, it's accepted, what happens next?
Okay, well, once the price is decided, and sometimes that does go back and forth, and there's a lot of other things that belong in a contract, and I guess we won't go into that right now, but once the price is negotiated, then we open up escrow. Now, let's just say normally.
What is escrow? For those?
Oh, escrow. Oh, okay. Well, escrow is where you have a third party who is not working for nor the buyer nor the seller. Okay, and they take the deposit, which is usually 3% of the purchase price, and they hold the funds. Okay. They are the ones that are going to dispense all the monies to everyone.
Okay. Neutral third party that holds the funds so nobody gets cute and runs away with the money.
Exactly.
So once escrow is opened, now the buyer, they generally have to go through some sort of a borrowing process, isn't that right? So that's going to take some time.
That's correct. Okay, so a buyer, hopefully before they've come and decided to purchase this home, they've already met with their lender. Okay, and they've been pre-approved.
Hopefully, right?
Yes. Now they got it. Now here's the trick, is to get the loan. Okay. And in the past we've had some issues about, loans, but anyway, mostly they go to their lender and they get qualified, and then they start the loan process. Okay. Very important part of it.
Let's say they're approved.
They are approved. Okay. And then the very first thing you would want to do is get a home inspection. Okay. Okay, so the buyer pays for that.
What goes on with the home inspection?
Sure. A good home inspector comes in, and he's going to either, go on the roof, and if possible, underneath the house. He's going to check all the outlets. He's going to run the water. He's going to make sure that anything that he can get to is operating and in good condition.
That's a good idea.
It's
right?
Is that highly recommend it. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. You'd have to sign a waiver, but I would highly recommend it.
Okay. So the home inspector comes in, and then any other goodies coming through to...
Let's say the home inspector says, I don't know, the chimney looks a little like it might need some attention, and they would recommend for you to get a chimney inspector, or the same thing if it was with the roof. And so then you would you have 17 days from the day that you sign that contract to do your due diligence. Okay. And during that time, you want to look at everything very closely to make sure. Now, if something comes up in that home inspection that's troubling, you can decide to withdraw your offer and get back your deposit.
Oh, that's cool. They have 17 days to...
Correct.
Okay. Good deal. So the home inspector comes through. Let's say he doesn't find anything. It's a beautiful home. Do they just hand over the keys after that point? Or?
Wouldn't that be nice? Not so quick.
I want to go to sleep.
Not so quick. Okay, so you want to go through that. The loan still processing. That usually takes quite a while, unless you're all cash, which we do have a lot of that. We're very fortunate.
Wow.
We live in a very wealthy area.
You pay in hundreds?
hundreds of thousands. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I know, I love it.
Okay.
Makes life a lot easier. We just have to go through all the processes. If, in fact, there was nothing on the home inspection, that's correct, and you are getting a loan, then we would just, usually it's a 30-day escrow, and then at the end of 30 days, we would give you the keys.
Oh, beautiful. So, okay, so let's say escrow is closed. The escrow department disperses the money. Let's talk about the money for a moment.
Okay.
How much is your fee, the broker's fee? How much
Sure.
do the parties make out of that?
Okay, well, again, everyone's set up a little differently. In fact, even everyone in this office has maybe a little bit different contract with their broker. So it depends on what your pay schedule is. But I want you to understand that when a seller or a buyer signs a contract, they're signing the contract with RE/MAX, not Risa Myers. So when all is said and done and the check comes, it goes to RE/MAX.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so RE/MAX takes a check, and of course they get their broker's fee right off the top, and then it goes to our accounting department, and then they take their fees, and then they cut you a new check.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, does that mean that typically most realtors work on a commission basis, or is that more of a salary type of a deal? Or is that all, that's all negotiable, like you said?
Well, I don't know anyone that works on a salary that's a realtor. It's all commission.
It's all commission. So if I'm going to come into this career as a real estate professional, do generally the professionals get benefits, like health benefits or 401k or those goodies?
No.
No.
You are self-employed.
Get it, every man for himself.
That's right. You are self-employed. So now we do have a California Association of Realtors, and there are some programs for medical, so you can get group insurance. But you're still self-employed.
Now the check that's coming from RE/MAX, you said it's negotiable. Is there a civil code or a statutory law that says that we can't take more than one certain number, like 6% cumulative between the broker and yourself, or could that be as high as any number? Talk about the percentage. If the house cost $1 million, and you guys are getting 6%, is it generally split between the broker and the salesperson, right? Is it somewhere on that ballpark? Can you touch on that?
Well, this is what happens, and 6% used to be the percentage that most people worked with, but the standard now is about 5%.
Okay.
And now what that is in that contract is you have two agents normally. Okay, so you have the agent who's listing the property. Then you have the agent, what we call the selling agent, and that's the one who brought in the buyer. So usually, normally, a contract states that each agency will receive 2.5%.
Oh, wow.
So now you are at 2.5%, and the same goes for them. They have a license under a brokerage, and that takes care of it.
So that 2.5%, say for your end, might get split with the broker. He gets his cut.
Correct.
Okay, wow. So it just kind of gets diced and diced all the way down. Tell us about, thank you, that was a detailed description of a typical day. Tell us about the pros and the cons of this career. What do you love about it?
What do I love about being a realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what I love about it is helping people. If you're interested in really being of service and making people's dreams come true and helping them realize things, then this is a good career for that. You get to go outside, you get to see these beautiful homes, meet new people, you look beautiful in your professional outfit in the South Bay. What about the cons? What is sort of the not so fabulous part of this job, if anything? Well, you work a lot of long hours.
Okay.
And you work weekends. And not everybody's pleasant to work with.
Oh, right.
There's a lot of
probably
problems.
Stressed out, sounds
There's
like.
a tremendous stress.
Should I tell you? Sucker.
Should I tell you this last incident?
Yeah, tell us.
You can edit it if you like.
Tell us it.
Okay, so the house I just closed on, which I was referring to, that beautiful home in Redondo Beach, the lender was a little lagging in closing escrow, and it sat vacant for 2 weeks. And when the buyer was able to move in, it closed escrow the next day. They showed up with their moving truck and entered the home, and unfortunately the upstairs was flooded.
No.
Yes.
How?
Well, what happened was, and this will happen at times when you turn off utilities for a few days or a few weeks, and when you turn them back on, a surge will happen. And in this case, a valve leaked in the master bathroom upstairs. And no one was at the property, so it wasn't dealt with. And so then it's flooded the bathroom, the
no.
master bedroom, which then went down into the ceiling of the bedroom downstairs.
Wow. So what happened with the new family? Did they move their stuff out? Did they have time to retract their offer or anything?
No, we're closed escrow at this point.
Okay, so it's their deal now.
Oh, it's you own this home that's
wow.
been flooded.
Welcome.
Okay, we've all been paid. Everything's done. Okay,
Wow.
But it's never done. So that has to be dealt with. You're responsible. Well, you should take responsibility for that.
Wow. Risa is such a funny lady. She has such great energy. Tell us about a funny story or something that's cool that goes on in your life in this world. There's got to be something great.
Funny story.
Yeah, tell us about something great in this career.
Well, just most of my stories are when I work with someone, and this happens quite often, where we've been looking for quite a while, and in one case in particular, it was only one day, and that does happen often, where you will find the home on the first day that you go out and look. Does happen.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Okay.
So when you take your client out, and I met this particular client, Julie Hart, and we met at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we discussed what she was looking for and everything, and then I had properties to show her, and we went out looking, and we walked into this one property which backs up to Wilderness Park, and the whole living room was a view of the park. So it was like you were not living in Redondo Beach. It just was fantastic. And she walked in, and she took my hand, and she squeezed it, and she said, "Oh my God," I know. It's a moment of knowingness that this is the one.
Wow, very cool.
It is very cool.
And so she's just like, this is my home.
Right.
I want it.
Yes.
And then let's get started. And does she live there now?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Wow, you help these people find
right.
their home.
Many
it's
times.
Such a dear place to.
It's
everyone.
wonderful.
If it wasn't
wonderful.
for you, they might not have found it.
It's
That's
very
good
exciting.
Stuff.
Yeah.
How about advice for young people? Before we wrap it up.
Okay.
Advice for young people. What would you tell them today about this career?
If you are interested in becoming a realtor, and know that, I have to tell you honestly, for the first couple of years, you probably won't make a salary, because it cost me approximately $20,000 a year to be a realtor. Those are my cost.
Wow.
Okay, so for those first 2 years, you need to spend a great deal of money on marketing. And so usually the money in return is not going to be able to give you a paycheck for a while.
So beware.
So you want to do that, and I would really recommend get with an experienced, seasoned agent, and become either an assistant if possible, or do something, but get with a team of realtors that needs you to assist them, and that's a great way to learn the business.
Is that sort of like an internship?
Correct.
Would that be paid?
Well,
or?
I've never been lucky enough to find anybody that would do it for
That's
free.
That's kind of a volunteer deal then.
Yeah. Right.
To get started and to learn about this career.
That's correct. I have a pretty big staff.
Okay.
Yeah, that need to be paid, so they're not doing it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for meeting with us. It was great.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. This is Freddie Cochran signing out from another edition of California Careers. Take care. Well, there you have it. Now you know how to become a real estate agent here in the state of California. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of California Careers. I'm Freddie Cochran, your host. If you have any questions about this career, you can always visit our website at internetworktvcorp.com. I'm Freddie Cochran. Take care.